Hello and good evening everyone. Welcome to round 5 of the Pretty Ninja Porsche Multiclass Championship. I'll be your host this evening. My name is Anders. I hope you're doing well. We're midway through the week, so let's try and give you some entertaining action to get the end of your week, or the last 2 weekdays, off to a good start. We're currently looking at our championship leader, Jay Skyring, who quite frankly is not really leading by much. And we have quite a few sign-ups today, even though the list is stuck at 15. We need to change that because there are definitely more to come. Although I've got 18 to 20 in the server. So we had 25 sign-ups today, which is, well, very nice. But whilst we wait, let's take a look at the standings. And sadly, it's not quite full screen yet. There we go. So as you can see, Jay Skyring's in the lead with 95 points with 3 races to go, including this one. 66 is not far behind, no. 81 points, only 6 points behind Skyring. Lloyd cannot attend tonight, so that's basically his chance at the championship over, but is currently sitting pretty in P3, Mayer in P4 with 55, Butler in P5 with 54, Coulson in P6 with 40, sadly can't attend due to computer difficulties, so that's his run for the top 5 pretty much over. And Sobek in P7 with 28, Perio in P8 with 14, Rabimus is in the GT4s tonight, after a plea from myself for more GT4 cars, and Mateus is in P10. So here we are, back trackside, looking at Jay Skyring, 66 however. It's currently topping the leaderboard, but it's currently chilling inside. As we're only a few minutes away from the end of free practice here. We've got a 20-minute race to come. Sinton driving the GT4s. Thirds, it's good to see Thirds back in. Come around the final corner and losing that rear end. Just didn't look happy at all. Burridge, Noah, has set 51 laps in practice. Plus over 50 laps, really, I should say, because when I last looked there was still a bit of time to go, and is on course to do relatively well tonight. Hopefully we'll do well. But it looks like the GT4s are struggling a little bit today, just with a bit of grip. As we go on board with the one they called Rabbit. Colin just disconnected from the server. So we'll wait to see what happens in tonight's race. I think it could be quite a close one in both packs, really. T1 is always awkward. Robinmus currently 2.5 off the pace. But hopefully he'll keep it nice and consistent. Front end just didn't want to bite in then. But then the rear end wanted to stick out there, so all these elevation changes really difficult for the GT4 drivers. I do think that it's harder to drive this GT4 car than it is to drive the actual sprint class or sprint cup series. You can see the car just didn't want to turn in there for Rabbit, and I think really if you can get it dialed in you should be able to go flat along there. Maybe in the GT4, maybe a little bit of lift off, but then the long left-hander back up towards the start-finish straight. Long left uphill off camber and over the start-finish line he goes. RK says George Bush did the 9/11. 9/11. I see what you did. Yeah, okay. I see what you're doing there. I see what you're doing. But here we go. So we have one cup car which is really off the pace. Torrico. 9/11 Porsche. Shh, shh, shh. Yes. Yeah. Definitely drove a 911 Porsche. Yeah, definitely. And we got another cup card, Cond, who also didn't set a lap time. Whilst we're waiting for that, here are some more of our events. Tonight you're watching the Porsche Multiclass. Next Monday night we're back to the Touring Car Championship, heading to Belgium. Spa is the longest circuit we've ever been to for the PNTCC. That's next Monday at 8:30 GMT. And this Sunday the GTO World Championship returns at Silverstone, and it's going to be a pretty good one, I would say. There is a bit more of a nerf on the BMW GT2 this time around, so hopefully there'll be a little bit more to go. Lloyd sadly can't make it tonight, and Dork and Boss Hammer, who are still in my list. Unfortunately, nobody higher up the GT4 standards are here tonight. However, it means easy points for me. I exactly know it's going to help towards your championship, that's for sure. It's going to help. As we keep an eye on the gentleman who is currently set P2 in the championship, 66, who is only 6 points behind all the sixes. He is the devil. Will he be the devil in Skyring's race today? Who knows? Because quite frankly, Butler has been getting quicker and quicker and quicker in the sprint class, and been getting a fair few PNTCC victories, or Pre-Ninjas victories, sorry, under his belt. And I have a funny feeling today could very well be another one. But all 66 needs to do really is to finish ahead of Jay Skyring. But we can see that Butler is going to be the first one to come over the line to start their flying lap time. So let's find a nice car camera. There we go, that's the one I'm after. As we head over the timing line, we'll just keep an eye on Butler as he goes around Sasham Ring Circuit. Such a nice circuit, hard on the brakes into T1, downhill, carry some speed through, but not too much, otherwise you'll understeer out. Keeping it nice and tight there at T1 for this very long, tightening T2 into this looping, undulating T3, back up the hill, put the power on too early, and you'll lose the rear end. But again, very good lines here from Butler. T4 as if it wasn't there, T5 nice and smooth. It's a really clean lap so far. Flat through T6, T6 is flat. Down the hill, and he should be drop one gear. Ride through and back up the hill you go, back up the gearing. Is it flat through here for Butler? No, not quite. But he hits every apex beautifully there. Through the corner that doesn't really exist. Down the hill. It's a brilliant lap from Butler. This is looking very fast. Long left-hander. Coming up towards the final corner, which is the off-camber long left-hander. Very easy to be caught out here. The rear end, especially when the tyres start drifting off. We'll lose the rear end. That is a fantastic lap by Butler. Let's just see what he sets. 1:22.6. Skyring just crossed the line as well with a 22.8. That was an absolute brilliant lap there from Butler. That was beautiful to watch. Skyring is in P2 with a 22.8. 66.23.6. Sobek with a 25.1. Watt in the GT4. Watt's in. Yay. Hello, Watt. It's good to see you again. Cross over the line in the GT4 Cup. 1:27. Veggies. Let's go with that. P6 with a 1:31. Not going to cut the mustard as Burridge puts into P6 with a 1:27 flat. Gets out of the way of the faster 911 sprint classes. Very honourable, all of them. Mayer in the pink Porsche. We'll be hoping rather to get some good amount of points in today to help with his challenge for the top 3 position in the championship. It's doable, but he has to fend off the likes of Butler, which quite frankly it's going to be very hard to do. So top 5 is definitely on the cards for May. I'm not quite sure who's ahead of them. So back on board with Mayer. It looks like he's had to back off somewhat, and it's Con that's ahead of them. So I think Mayer's got a bit more pace in the tank than Con up ahead of them. But again, it should be an interesting race going on here today. Skyring goes with a 22.7 now, so only 2 tenths behind Butler. Looks like it's going to be an epic drive at the front of the grid. Bracco goes into P5 in class for the GT4s. As Con goes over the timeline to take P5. But the problem is, he's going to be held up now by a GT4. There's not a lot that he can do about it. So GT4 runs a bit wide. I'm not quite sure who that may be. But Sinton is yet to set a lap time. Could this very well be it? And whereabouts is he going to be? P3 in class. 28.7. The problem with Rabbit is that he just gets quicker and quicker and quicker until he hits the limit. So we have 2 GT4s yet to, well, 1 GT4, sorry, to yet make a time. And Torrico in the Cup class yet to also lay a time down, and really does need to get one laid down. And hopefully they'll get one fairly soon. A little bit of twitchiness there. What is in the pits? Burridge is 6 tenths quicker than Watt right now. Skyring has pulled over to go back into the pits also. And Butler looks to be on a flying lap. 66 is back out on the course with 3 minutes 20 left to go. It's hard to know who or what to look at. Skyring comes out. 66 is coming over the timing line here. No improvements on his 1:23.5 unless it's the beginning of his flying lap. Helicopter means absolutely nothing. So apologies. And the GT4s are evenly spread, I would say, throughout today. We have way more GT4s than What is she doing? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 GT4s and 7 Cup cars. A nice 50-50 split as Torrico gets a lap time in, but he's only... In fact, I say only, he's now 4 tenths slower than a GT4. Bearing in mind, Torrico is also on the soft tyres, so Torrico really does need to find a lot more time here if he wants any form of competitiveness in the Cup class. Sinton goes into the pits, P10, and it looks like there's a GT4 spun out, and that's what has now gone into the pits. Not quite sure what's happened, but plenty of time, what? Don't worry. Plenty of time to get over the line. 66 is just starting a flying lap now. There's 2 GT4 cars ahead, dicing it out in qualifying, which is not the most cleverest of things in the world. Oh, and 66 has lost it at T3 as well, so 66 is not going to get another run. That's going to be it. And Butler is also stopped over the line with a 2:22.5. Can Skyrig bring anything? Sorry. Ooh, my bad. It's been a long day. Oh, no, he can't. He spinned it. So that's our top 3 pretty much set in stone, unless Mayer, on this flying lap, is able to do anything about that. Burridge is quite far ahead in the GT4 class, so I don't think we need to really worry about that. Sinton is calling it a day for qualifying as well. He's a whole second faster than Branco in P11. And hopefully things will get a lot better. And Mayer comes over the line to take P4. Burridge is also pretty much stopped on circuit. Branco is coming around the final corner, but pulls into the pits, going based off of that time. Third moves into P12. And that is pretty much it for qualifying. So Butler is your pole sitter for today's event. I meant use bot for dry plug-in lure. Oh really? Well, I'm not too worried because he's still 6 tenths off the pace. Off the pace of Burridge. Skyring in P2, 66 and P3 Mayer, P4 Cond, P5 Sobek, P7 Sobek's P6, sorry, and Torrico P7 in class, but P8 overall. Burridge is leading the way in the GT4 class. Wonderful placement there of advertisement. Watt currently P2 in GT4 class. Sinton in P3, but P10 overall. Branco P4. Thurs P5. Veg in P6. See ya, bro in P7. 14 overall. I was in the 120 stupid track limits. Hey, you gotta watch out for them track limits. And we'll keep an eye on Jay Skyring as he has the inside line going in to, there we go, into T1. And here are our 6 red lights. 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 light, 6 lights. And off we pop for round 5 of the Porsche Endurance. And 66 has got a brilliant start on Jay Skyring. And Butler tries to cover off the inside, but I don't think he really needs to. And Jay just about going to hold on to P2. Butler gets a good run out of T1, even though he ran quite wide there. As Cond moves into P4, Sobek moves into P7. Watts is currently ahead of Burridge as the GT4s fight for position. Burridge and Watt still battling it out, and Watt just about losing traction on the way up the hill. And we can see in the background Thurs and Seabrook we're battling it out towards the top of the hill. And Sobek goes up the inside of Torrico. Torrico should probably just concede that sort of position. Yeah, he's going to run wide otherwise. And Sobek moves up into P6. Now it's whether Watts can do anything against Burridge in the early stage to try and pin him back. 66 moves into P, and Skyring looks like he may have spun, which is great news for 66 and forms the championship. Not good news for Skyring and his chances to earn some good points in this race, but still, this is still lap 1, 18 minutes left to go. So that means we are Butler by 66, by Cond in P3, by Mayer in P4, Sobek in P5 and Torrico in P6. Closely behind, we have the battle for P1 in the GT4 class. And it's down the hill they go in Sector 1. And it does look like Watt is trying very hard to keep up with Burridge. And to be fair, he's getting it done. He's staying relatively close. So over the timing line they go. We can see that Skyring currently sat in P10, not far behind Rabamus, but Rabamus looks like he's going to put up a fight against the Cup class. It's the rear end of that GT4 for Burridge, not looking the happiest. Sorry, I'm writing Christmas cards as I'm doing this. Multitasking at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Right, what's going on? Not a great deal. The cars seem to be settling into a nice little rhythm. Cond is getting a good result here currently, the Spaniard in P3. Only half a second really behind 66. But our race leader, Butler, is definitely motoring away. Not quite sure what happened to Skyring. We'll have to take a look after the race and just review it just in case anything untoward happened. But Cond is going to be rather happy right now, sitting in P3, 66 just ahead. The AI, that is 66, rarely makes a mistake. Skyrim moves up into P8 past Watts, so it won't be long before Burridge will have to concede the position as well. But that has opened the gap up massively to the GT4 car of Burridge. And it's going to work out really well in Burridge's favour because the move's going to be well done before T1. As Skyring's just set his personal best for the race and has clear track ahead of them. So Skyring is going to get on moving. Watt in P2 in class, Sinton in P3. Ravenous jumping into the GT4 at late notice to satisfy me, which is very, very kind of him. And it does look like the battle for P2. Oh, as Cond runs a little bit wide. Oh, gets a bit lucky there. Touching the right-hand side on the gravel. You can see that he lost about 3 attempts just from that incident. Mayer, who is also being rather quiet, sat in P4, currently getting a really good result here if he can keep this going. This is Mayer's local track, if I remember correctly. So this is his home race as Skyring and Torrico. It did look like they were battling out for a second, but Skyring has got so much more pace. So I don't think Torrico can really put up much of a fight. 66 has just set a personal best of the race as well so far. But it does look like Cond is catching 66 in Sector 1 and Sector 2. As Jay Skyring goes over the timing line to set a 1:23.5. So 14 minutes left of the race to go. Again, plenty more can still happen. I think Skyring just has to do damage limitation here. Try and get himself back up to P5. It looks like a couple of drivers have also binned it at the back here. So Thurs almost went into the pits. Seabro also... Where's Seabro? Seabro's quite far behind, so I'm not quite sure. I think Thurs must have just lit up the rear tyres coming out of the last corner. And here is Seabro about to get lapped, but moves well out of the way of the race leaders and gets out of the way again, actually, in fairness. So, and Torrico is disconnected from the server. Seabro just trying to stay out of the way, but in doing so kind of gets in the way, but can't really be helped. If they are in rookie class, they just need to keep it going. But very honourable, very well done. Keep it going, keeping yourself in the race. You don't know what's going to happen. But sadly, Torrico has had a DC for some reason. Not quite sure why. As the race leader in the GT4 class comes over the timing line. You can see the gap at the front now slowly starting to stretch itself out as well, which is what tends to happen in these sort of multi-class races. But one car that is getting close to the car ahead is Sobek as Mayer, and it looks like there's a GT4 car off in the grass. That must be Seabro. So I'm going to assume that they were trying to get out of the way. Instead, sadly, maybe got in the way again. As Mayer is now just maybe had his confidence shaked a little bit. Maybe not quite too sure. And now has the wily Sobek. The one who just slowly and quietly just builds and accumulates all of their points throughout the championship. And usually gets a very good result in Pretty Ninja sessions. As Con just sets their personal best of the race, which is a 1:22.9. As Con moves in to P2 and gets a dive down the inside by the looks of it. I'm not quite sure if 66 was expecting that. I didn't really see the gap was there for overtaking, but it looks like Con must have just found a bit of pace somewhere coming over the back straight. Well, 66 must have ran wide. As Cond runs wide here, 66 leaves plenty of room and goes back up the inside. So the battle for P2 in class is definitely heating up. Sobek, as let me just as in chat, is getting faster and faster, and they certainly are. Oh, as Con makes a mistake there. Lose so much time. Such a fast corner. If you're too slow. Good result here for Butler. It's definitely going to help out with his championship. As it looks like Skyring is going to be getting past Sobek now, yeah. It was a shame because Sobek was closing down Mayer bit by bit by bit. Skyring comes over the line with a 24.4. Not too dissimilar to Mayer up ahead, but this is a very good recovery drive here for Jay Skyring. As Cond seems to be gaining a little bit of pace on 66 again. 9 minutes left of the race to go. I don't think this is over for the battle for P2. We can see that Skyring is very close to Mayer, but Mayer will not concede the position quite as easily as I think Skyring might want. But it all depends on where Jay Skyring is quicker. And it does seem to be in Sector 2, and Con just got a drive-through penalty for cutting the circuit. That's going to basically destroy Con's battle for P2, just pushing and pushing and pushing, trying to catch up with 66, and sadly it's just not going to be able to. Needs to get that drive through out the way as quick as possible because Jay Skyring is on the move and on the catch-up. But sadly that's the battle over for P2 for Con. But you can see in the background there's Mayer, who just set a PB off the race so far, and so is Sobek. In the background, who seems to be 3 seconds behind Skyring, so something's happened to Sobek there after we were just giving him some praise. So GT4's just start coming over the line. You can see the lap times dropping off a little bit now for the GT4s. The tyre wear is increased here. And Thurs has got a drive-through for cutting as well. Which means, yeah, that's going to need to be served fairly soon. And Cond, who has backed off a bit more now to try and get the job done. But Skyring is still behind Mayer. And we can see Fedge and Thurs battling it out over the timing line. Oh, and Veg runs wide. Sorry, I'm going to call him Fed. Runs wide, but manages to get the position back with a really good drive out of T1. Oh, you could just hear a car going through the fast left-hander as Mayer and Skyring go on through, as Cond has just done their drive-through and pops out just behind Skyring. So this could be interesting here. So the battle for P3 is definitely on. Can Mayer soak up the pressure for 6 minutes? He's going to have Skyring on his back, and then he's going to have Cond on his back. He needs to hold up Skyring as much as possible to hope that Cond can catch onto the rear end as quick as possible. But that's a bit of an error there, which is lit up for Jay Sky a little bit more. It's just whether Cond is slowly catching. Oh, that was a bit sketchy there for Mayer, running a little bit wide. Oh, and Skyring's getting a run down the hill here. Oh, not quite actually. I thought he was, but just took a slightly too wide a line. Any other circuit, that would be the right thing to do, but here you just need to tuck in, trust the car in front, The Skyring using as much as the track as possible. Oh, Mayer well caught there under brakes, but is that going to affect the exit speed? It is. He's gone very defensive here. And Thurs has just got a drive through and he's going to be coming out on track right ahead of these two. As Jay Skyring's looking to go down the inside. Mayer might want to try and do the switchback, but just can't get it done. Skyring gets the move done at a really important time, just as Cond was about to get onto the rear end of them this lap. And that's Jay Skyring back into P3, but I don't think it's over. Cond will be on the rear end of Mayer fairly quickly. It's just whether Mayer can keep up with Jay Sky, and I'm not entirely sure he can. He's done very well to hold him off for the 3-4 laps that he was behind. But in doing so, he may have just completely worn out the tyres a little bit. Burridge has got a 9-second lead in the GT4 class. So much needed points for his championship. After one lap, it's almost 1 second behind. So Skyring getting the breathing room, as you can see, 9 tenths, and to be fair, Cond was a whole second quicker than Mayer on that lap. So whether it's just Mayer can hold him off for 4 minutes and keep P4, who knows? But we can hear a car is in the sand again. Doesn't say who though. There's Burridge in the GT4 class coming over the timing line. Oh, and Seabro's got a drive through for cutting. It's a shame. And there is the GT sprint car of 66, I believe. Yeah. Oh, and you can see Chia is just making their way through. But here is the next battle. So we go on board with Cond. 3 minutes pretty much left remaining. That's roughly 3 laps. Left off the race to go. Can the Spaniard get that P4? Can Cond even catch up Jay Skyring, because he is lapping slightly quicker? Not much, but he is slightly faster than Jay Skyring up ahead. You can see P3's right there. So this battle is going to go right to the very end, I think. I did say that earlier, and Seabro just gets out of the way. Oh, but sadly it's also hugging the racing line, which puts Mayer really wide. It's going to be a great opportunity for Cond, but then Cond is also forced off the racing line. But that has really helped Cond in his chase for Mayer, as Mayer is really struggling with that fast left-hander. The Porsche tyres must be dropping off quite a bit now. And there's the flashy lights. And that pink Porsche is looking very, very squirrely on the rear end when it's trying to get his power back down. Cond trying to distract. The Spaniard's just able to... Oh, runs a little bit wide. Good save. Can clearly carry a bit more speed through there. Now Mayer needs to learn from his previous mistakes and hold the defensive line. Just get the car stopped, and runs really wide here. Big opportunity for Cond. Just can't get it done. So we're on to the second to final lap here, because Butler will cross over the line in time, I believe. Zebra's got to stop and go for speeding in the pit lane. Not that it really overly matters for them as they are at the back, but Mayer's going defensive in a corner where you really don't want to be shallow, and that's exactly what's going to happen here. Con's now got the inside at the top of the hill, but Mayer is still hanging on in there. This is really respectful driving from both, and Mayer just can't quite hold it, and Con moves up into P4 at this late stage of the race. I think Mayer was his worst enemy there, overthinking it into the fast left-hander. You can't really overtake there. It's not really doable, so we should have just stayed on the racing line, just carried as much speed through as possible. But I don't think Conda's going to get anything more, sadly. So Jay Skyring, after the incident in lap 1, has got himself back to P3. And Sinton, in the meantime, is right on the rear end of what? And is really pushing to get P2 in the GT4 class. It's just whether he can get the move done. But I'm going to assume that Watt's tyres might well be quite scrubbed off, because Rabimus seems to just have that extra little bit as he runs wide out of the final corner. And that's that over. Oh, it's getting so excited then. As Butler crosses over the line to take race victory here, round 5 at the Stratton Ring. Well deserved. And 66 comes over the line, take P2. Much needed points for the championship. Skyring comes over the line to take P3. Cond will take P4. Mayer will take P5 after a heroic drive to try and fend off both Skyring and Cond, but just couldn't quite get the job done. Sobek crossed over the line for P6. And here is our GT4 race leader as Branco finishes P10, Fedge finishing P11, Thurs will finish P11, 12, Zebro will finish P13, 2 laps down, and sadly we'll get a 1 minute penalty as well, because you can't take a stop and go on the last lap, so it's very harsh really. But Burridge comes up the hill one last time to take race victory for the GT4 class. Burridge takes P12 as I mentioned. Iwatt is going to come over the line, who was under pressure on the last lap, to take P2 in class. Sinton is still going to get P3 in class. So a wonderful drive from them. And we're just waiting for Bro to come over the timing line to round us all off. Good drive there. Oh, they're going to try it. They're going to try it. I don't think it's going to work, because there is the timing line. So the moment they cross over, 70-second penalty. Such a shame. Such a shame. Never mind. Never mind. How was Division 1? Division 2 was quiet. Yeah, Division 2, Mole, for some reason, they could have quite easily been in Division 1. Because we had plenty of space. Division 1 was a good race, but a bit quiet in places. But there was the odd little scrap here and there. So as we wait for the standings to update, we'll take a look at the replay in just a minute. So the Porsche Multiclass is, well, you've just watched it. It's just finished here at the Stratton Ring. I can't quite remember where they are next week. I will have it in just a moment. The Touring Car Championship is heading to, why have I completely forgotten? Spa. And GT2 World Championship is heading to Silverstone this Sunday, 8:30 GMT. Make sure you get yourselves signed up. The Porsche Multiclass heading to Baikoneki next week. A very tricky circuit. Definitely going to catch a lot of people off guard, that one. Practice is definitely going to be needed for both the GT4 and the sprint class, especially the sprint class, I'm going to say, because it's a very thin forest circuit. And that's going to be next week for the Porsche Multiclass. As we just wait for the standings to update, it's going to take a little bit of time. Guess I'll start practicing. Get on it, Lemmy. Get on it. And we're just waiting for the results to catch up. What happened in Division 2? Let's have a little look. Mateus took the victory in Division 2. Mole, finishing P2. The GT4 of SZV in P3. Gomez G in P4 in the Cup class. Another GT4 finishing P5 in the Cup class, in the GT4 class. And we have a couple of Porsche Cups which don't look like they really got anywhere. And someone got disqualified for not taking a penalty, drive through, yeah. So it doesn't look like I could have swapped to Division 1. Couldn't see it happen. No, you couldn't swap. So what it does, it pre-fills the slot for those that have registered. And then effectively, if they don't turn up, it doesn't fill the slot. It's really frustrating, to be honest. But we just have to now wait for the results to finalise, and then we can check out the standings. On the plus side, Mole, I do believe if you are in Division 2, you get quite a good haulage of points, if I remember rightly. Let me just check. Maybe in Division 2 you don't get any for some reason. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, not complaining. Got P2. Nice. Nice. Let's see what happens. But less fun. I can understand that, dude. I can understand that. So we'll just wait for the results to load up. In the meantime, what we will do actually, we will go back to lap 1. J Skyring. So let's just go to J Skyring. And it looks like okay. Looks like a little bit of rubber banding. And that's because you were lapping faster than some GT3 cars. Yes, he was. He was lapping a lot faster than GT3 cars. Let's do chase cam. Check it out here. Oh, just goes into the rear end of Butler. Oh. And sadly, that ruined its opportunity for the race victory, but still P3 is a very good recovery. As you see, we come down the hill, just come around the last corner. Sadly, a little bit of rubber banding, it seems. There's no brake lights there for Butler, as you can see. Look at Butler's car, no brake lights. There does seem to be a little bit of rubber banding. And sadly, that was the end for J Skyring. But that was pretty much the only incident that I saw. So no penalties really need to be given to anyone, for that matter. So we just wait for the race to be... Brake checks me, dirty bastard. No brake lights, sir. No brake check. There were no brake lights. But a fairly clean race, actually, looking at it, because instant points wise, no one got more than 2. Apex Parker. First corner was a bit chaotic. It always is at Action Ring. Doesn't matter what you're driving, you could all be in Fiat 500s. Netcode. It looked like a little bit of rubber banding to me, yeah, a bit of netcode. It did look like a little bit of that to me, which neither party can do much about it, to be honest. Which is that's a shame. And apparently Rabber is still on the server. Apparently. So we are literally waiting for Rabber. Yeah, it definitely looked like that. J-Sky just mentioned in chat. 1 minute he was a few meters ahead of me in front. Then I was on his bumper. But we are literally just waiting for Rabber to leave the server, according to the live timing board. Let me, if it's still there, I've changed the car for our demo race tomorrow. That's something that I should mention. Tomorrow night, 8:30, we are hosting a demo race. What we mean by this is that we are trying out our very own server tomorrow. We've not done it before, and we need test subjects. So if you want in, all you have to do is be a member of our Discord. Links in the description below, or on the WSS website. And at the moment, we've currently driving. It was going to be the Quattro, but after a couple of practices from a couple of people, it's just not gonna. It's going to be 20 minutes of just punching yourself in the ball bag, to be honest with you. So at the moment, it's the Lotus 211, which we might change to the Lotus Type 49 because that's what US said. So I might change it again in just a moment, and we're still waiting for Rivalries to leave. But I will update the details of letting me post in the Discord fairly soon. Rapper, are you still on the server? Ah. Yeah, because you're the one that's holding up the whole freaking results, son. Cool. Let's see what it does. It's going to take a couple of seconds to update. Hello, mate. You're right. Good. Finished. It says finished. Finished. Hasn't quite given everyone rating just yet, but hasn't updated the standings. Ooh, it has. Ooh, suit you, sir. Let's have a little look at the leaderboard, shall we? So Jay Skyring still leads the way with 113 points in P2. Is 66 with 101. Weirdly, it's gone from being 6 points behind, finishing ahead of them, and being more points behind. Not quite sure how that happens, but we'll check that out in a moment. Butler in P3 moves into P3 with 79 points. Mayer is in P4 with 69. Giggity. Lloyd is in P5 after not attending tonight with 68, so the battle for P4 is most definitely on. Mark Coulson and Sobek joint 6th with 40 points. And then Mateus P8 with 37, Spall with 27 in P9, and Gomez G rounding off our top 10 with 18 points. That's the Porsche Cup class. And the GT4s, Burridge leads the way with 70 points, Cole in second with 45, with 2 races to go, or 3 races to go, 6, 7, 8, with 3 races to go. There is still opportunity for Cole to gain back. Oshagan hasn't really joined in. If Rabimus continues on the path of GT4, entirely up to Rabimus. He's currently on 36 points in P4. Butler, as you know, is now in the Cup class. Chaulia in P6 of 25, joint 6th with SZV. Not quite sure how you're going to pronounce that. Nugan, I'm going to assume is how you pronounce it, is currently joint 8th with iWatts with 20 points. And in joint 10th, we have John Connor Graham and Bellet. So if you want to join in, make sure you check out the links in the description below. But until next time, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves. And I'll see you on the other side.